That was deep.
Nice getting to know you.
How would you feel?
I don't really swear, but it's been amazing.
Were you going to say done? Let's just get the
I
wedding.
was going to say done. Get the wedding done. I said this to you. This is my line.
Oh my god.
You're lucky if you get taken to Pizza Hut.
Take your Pizza Express.
I don't like pizza. How many times do I have to tell you this? I am your spoiled princess. Wait, no I'm not. I spoiled myself. Anyway.
Hey guys, this is Akshay.
I'm Harpreet. Welcome to the Couples Boardroom.
We have another amazing podcast lined up today. As always,
We're going to talk about Akshay's big move and how we started planning the wedding and tips on how you can do it too.
let's get into it.
So we're going to be solving your dilemmas in the boardroom today and discussing the wedding. But before all of that, I think it would be really nice to have a little bit of a chat about our backgrounds a little bit. Everyone always asks us about our business journey, and then they always like rewinding a little bit further because everyone has kind of a history and different things about what make them the person that they are. And I think everyone is always quite surprised to know that you actually grew up in Africa as a child, which I think people would love to know more about because you don't have an African accent at all.
I have a bit of an African accent.
I really like it when you do that.
Yeah, I grew up in Malawi. It's a country in Africa. I lived there till I was 8 years old. And I loved it. I think there's no other better place in Africa, to be really honest.
Okay.
It's beautiful. Lived in a joint family. Went to school there. Spoke the local language. And
What's the local language?
it's called Chichewa.
Oh, yes.
Chichewa, yeah.
Discuss this, yeah.
And yeah, it was a good childhood.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit more, you know. People will want to know, when did you move to the UK? How was that transition? Why did you move to the
It's
UK?
not like immigration.
I'm going to fill out a form.
I moved at the age of 8. I was actually born in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Well, I know this.
yeah. I was born in the UK. Then we went back to Africa, to Malawi. Lived there for 8 years. Moved back to the UK. We lived in Leicester after that for a year. Then moved to London in Harrow. And from Harrow, then moved to Northwood. So I've actually changed about 6 different schools from the period I was 8 years old till I was about 14 or 15. So we've gone through a lot of change.
So we will come back and touch on schools and things in here, but please can we go back to Africa because...
I actually want to take you to Malawi at some point.
Yeah.
That'll be beautiful.
Tell me why. Sell it to me.
I think Malawi is one of the most beautiful, underrated places on this planet, you know. And in terms of the people, in terms of the weather, just the lifestyle, it's so simple compared to the UK. I mean, it's more natural, more organic, if that makes sense. Even like the veg and the fruits you eat are organic, if that makes sense.
I feel like there could be a whole topic conversation here about that lifestyle in terms of simple lifestyle versus I feel like trapped in the grid almost here.
Yeah.
But I'd want to know a little bit about like, how did you feel growing up? Like, you know, I obviously already know that you guys had quite a comfortable lifestyle over there. So what does a comfortable lifestyle in Africa look like versus lifestyle here?
I'll be really honest with you and I'll be blunt. Like, for example, when I was growing up at the time, you obviously had house helpers and things like that, where you have a driver to take you to school that comes to your house at 7 a.m. to pick you up to take you to school, right?
That's quite common in places like India.
Very common. You have like kitchen staff as an example that do the cooking, if that makes sense. We had someone separately just to play with me. I used to love cricket. I still love cricket. And they literally just played with cricket the whole day. Used to make them bowl to me and I said it.
Okay, this is like really extreme. Like, that's such a different lifestyle to anything that I've seen from like what's going on here.
Definitely.
So like, how was that like move? Because I'm sure you said something about, like you said over there, you had kitchen like staff and things like that. Whereas here it was like How come I have to do these things by myself?
Yeah, yeah, and I went through that phase as well. So obviously I moved at the age of 8, and we moved to Leicester initially, and I remember this scene very clearly, actually, that I finished dinner, and I got off the table and left the chair like that, and I walked away, and Mum was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I've done dinner."
I've done dinner.
Yeah, as in dinner's done. She goes, "Pick that plate up, tuck your chair in, and put it in the sink and rinse your plate." And I was like, "What? What have I done wrong?" But this is the point I'm trying to say to you, is that change was hard in that sense, where we moved to the UK, and circumstances were changed, and it was tough. It was tough adjusting.
I'm just thinking though, if that was tough for you to adjust as an 8-year-old,
Yeah.
like what about your parents?
Yeah, 100%, it's tough. But I say now that I say to my parents, I said, one of the best things you've done is move to the UK, because I feel like I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't make that change. I genuinely believe I'll be some spoiled kid who was in Africa that did whatever he wanted. And I think it's one of my motivations, if that makes sense, because I've sort of experienced that side of life. It's like, hey, hang on a second. No. I want that life here, you know.
Would you say that's like one of your biggest?
100%. At the age of 8, I used to, in drawing book, you know, when kids had drawing books and stuff in art lessons, I used to draw big houses, lots of cars around in my drawing book, because that's the motivation. It's always
because that's what you've seen growing up as a child.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like even the silliest things like this comes to me as an example. You know, like A4 pieces of paper. I used to cut them in the shape of money, get a green crayon, color them green, and write like $100 or whatever it was on the currency, and stack them up, loads of pieces of paper, and put it in a briefcase. This is like when I was young, and carry on like as if I got a lot of money in my bag.
Why is that? Like, is that because that's just what you was born into?
I wouldn't say I was born into it.
Is that just how you naturally were? That's what you'd like?
Yeah.
What about like interacting with friends, making friends, your accent? Because you sound very, very British to me.
Yeah.
And when you told me in the apprentice house that you was born and brought up in Africa,
I was born here, but I was brought up there. Yeah.
Well, you brought up in Africa, as a lot of Indians do it, you know. But I didn't have even an inkling, because you just seem very, very...
Yeah, you have to adapt. And I think that's one of the things I'm really grateful for, that I've learned how to do that. I found it hard. I don't sit there and talk about it. It's not a big thing for me. Yeah, you don't have friends. You're trying to fit in. You don't like the place, firstly.
Are you sure? You just said it's not a big thing for me. Are you sure it's not a big thing? Or are you just actually trying to move it to the side because actually it was really uncomfortable?
It was uncomfortable, but you just get on with it, you know? I don't sit there saying, oh, I have no friends. You know, firstly, maybe the way I was as a kid, maybe that was the reason why I didn't have friends, because I was quite...
I think nothing to do with the fact you're African, maybe because you're an absolute rat.
Yeah. But it was hard. So we moved to Leicester first. I don't remember having friends as such. In fact, I remember my mom used to go up to other kids and be like, hey, can you be friends with my kid? And I was like, Mom, don't do that. That's embarrassing. But then you just adapt as you grow older. And then I moved to London to a different school. And as soon as you start to make a few friends, boom, that changes. And then you're in a new environment again. It's like, shit, okay, fine.
I think like all of this, it kind of, for me, often really kind of sometimes explains your personality.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like, you know, we're both very motivated people. We both do want the best out of life. But I feel like sometimes you look at people and you think, okay, why do they want those things? Is it because, I don't know, validation? Is it because they actually want those things? Or is it because actually they've had that in their life before, they enjoyed it, and actually they want to now create that for themselves again? It's just interesting. So I just want to go back to like, you know how you said that Africa is a different lifestyle? Because obviously I know I've already had a chat with you about this. Like for me, sometimes I just feel like, you know, so many people feel like this. that is almost like a rat race, and we're all kind of stuck in this big grid. You know, everyone's getting busier. There's so many plates to spin and juggle. You know, I feel like social media is on such an increase to the level where people are now doing things just to post on social media.
Yeah.
And I feel like in some countries, or like obviously I've been to India quite a few times growing up, and I last October. It was like a breath of fresh air. It wasn't like you say, probably very similar to Africa. It's just a totally different lifestyle. There isn't the same, of course there's different stresses, different pressures, but it's almost like you can just breathe and you're not under this constant time pressure every day. Whereas here, everything's timed, everything's via appointment, everything's very busy. And I'm sure it's easy for me to say that because when I go to India, I'm on holiday, but I don't know. I feel like, oh my gosh, is this what life's supposed to be like? Because I'm pretty sure with the evolution of time, things just used to be so much more simple back in the day, 100%. Even growing up without phones and things. So like, do you feel like you've lived in two different kind of lifestyles? What's your preference?
I love it here, to be honest. I love the UK. I love the hustle. I love the bustle. I love that. Let's get it, right? And now when I go back to, let's say, India, something like that, I actually find it quite difficult because I was like, yo, this is too slow. Yeah. It's sort of become part of me in the sense that, okay, what's next on my calendar? All right, cool, what am I doing now? I find it difficult to just sit and just be like, fresh air. I can't do that. Does that make sense? Mm. But it is a complete contrast. And when you sort of compare lifestyles, and not just Africa, but like even India, it's relaxed. You wake up, you have your masala chai, you know, you have your breakfast, you have a good chat with your family, you go to work.
Yeah.
Then it's like 45 degrees or something in the afternoon. You come back, you have a nap, you go back to work, it's evening.
So you wouldn't enjoy that?
I would enjoy it. I think that, again, it will take some time to get used to it. I think there's benefits and negatives of both places.
It's about parents trying to find the right balance. Yeah. Difficult, because what if the parents don't know the right balance themselves? But I guess we all just have to figure it out.
Totally.
Yeah, cool. Well,
interesting chat. That was deep.
Nice getting to know you.
Okay, let's speak a bit about the wedding. A lot of people are asking me, because I told quite a few people that we're going to have an international wedding. They're like, what happened?
Well, this is...
So I'm going to ask you, what happened?
I think I even went on Instagram and said we were getting married in Goa and asked everyone for tips. We'd been to Goa.
We definitely thought it would be easier than it would be.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit because we've been through quite a journey of planning this wedding.
Yeah.
So I feel like initially when we decided we're getting married, you proposed last year.
Yeah.
I think we both was under the impression that let's just get the wedding organised quickly.
Were you going to say done? Let's just get the wedding.
Was going to say done. Just get the wedding done. So I feel like we were both under the same mentality that let's just make sure we get it done next year.
Yeah.
We don't want like a 3-year engagement, like crack on a little bit.
Still wasn't a rush.
I'm not in a rush. No, but like, you know. So I feel like we kind of motored on quickly with the wedding planning process. But I feel like I've kind of always had this little mini dream that I would love to do a destination wedding.
Yeah.
So I feel like I kind of led you down that little path. And the other reason I wanted to do a destination wedding is because I thought we would get away with having a much more intimate event. Because I feel like we both want that, and hopefully we've tried to achieve that with the wedding that we do have coming up. Yeah. But I felt like, you know, it would be so cute just to have like 30 to 40 guests there, have it like as a big destination wedding week, keep it really low key. You know, when you go on holiday sometimes and you see those nice hotels that have wedding packages, that was in my head. But then as we started to get into it, we started getting confused with destinations. We went from Dubai to Italy to bloody God knows where, Lake Como, and then...
to Mauritius, to All sorts. And then where did we settle for?
First we went to India.
Watford.
No, and then we've gone to India.
Did we look at India?
Have you forgotten this?
Oh yeah, we did, yeah.
We had a wedding planner out there.
Yeah. Who we just virtually met on Zoom.
God. So we started literally planning this whole thing, told all our family, got them all excited. We sat in the living room, started watching fun YouTube videos of people getting married in Goa, got them all literally mega, mega excited, planning this whole trip to India where we're going to do Goa, then Mumbai, maybe nip to Punjab, nip over to Gujarat, like it's a quick 1 hour flight. And then I remember we sat and we started looking at the hotels, and it was a lot more complicated than that because I felt like the hotels we liked.
It's hard to look at a hotel on YouTube as a potential wedding venue.
Yeah, and then we did plan that we were going to go.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, we just all of a sudden flipped our mind.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, we've bloody landed in the UK because we're just thinking, hey, let's just keep it simple.
Yeah, and I think it's good.
It's not simple though.
It's not simple, and I'm going to be really honest. As the guy, I'm not fussed at all. I'm not. But I want to make sure that you're happy.
No, sweetheart, we're not going to pin this whole wedding as if this is exactly what I want, as if I'm a spoilt princess. Would you like to revise your...
spoilt princess.
I am your spoilt princess. Wait, no, I'm not. I spoil myself. Anyway, we're not going to pin this whole idea or wedding concept on me.
No. I'm just saying is that ideal scenario for me is call the registrar official, whatever it's called. Sign the documents. Right. Put the sindoor on.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
However, okay.
Invest the money.
No, we're not going to go down that road. It's planned now. It's in the diary.
But we do it once, so let's do it properly.
No, but go on. Why have you got that tone to your voice? Go on.
What tone? I'm excited.
No, you're not.
Excited. I've got to send the measurements to the outfit.
We have not got long to the wedding at all. We haven't. I haven't even got an outfit for one of the events. 2 events I've not got outfits for.
Yeah.
And I feel like the wedding that we wanted in our head has now gone the opposite way because we really wanted to keep it simple. And okay, I will take blame for this slightly because we've got to do a traditional Indian wedding.
Yeah.
Then you need some kind of celebration party. You were saying let's not bother with that. But I would like to personally celebrate the fact that we're getting married. No, don't just nod your head. Right? But then in addition to that, this day is probably my fault. Obviously, legally, we have to get married. So the traditional wedding at the mandir, which we're doing, not at the Gurdwara, which is a whole other conversation. I didn't want to just go to the registry office and just sign a document. I really wanted to wear English white wedding dress.
That's absolutely okay.
Because I am a brat sometimes.
No, it's not about being a brat, but if you're doing it, do it properly.
So this is why we've now gone back to the traditional.
And it's also about creating memories as well for our families to have good times as well, I don't want to be 65.
No, I said this to you. This is my line. I said we don't want to get to 65 with our children, grandchildren, and look back at our wedding and say, oh, we signed a document in a registry office.
Right, fair enough.
I said, if we're going to do it nicely and do it properly.
Yeah. And we are.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. Genuinely.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That is so fake.
No, it's not. I'm legit excited. I'm excited for the celebrations.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I feel like we need to just finish planning it then actually enjoy the process.
100%. I think it always works out. The planning is always done in the end, There's no point stressing.
So, and to be honest with you, like, I'm actually kind of glad that we just scrapped all the ideas of going abroad, getting everyone there, because it can be hard work. And this is why I think we just decided to do it here, because it's like...
And you got to be...
just get on with it.
You've got to think about your guests a little bit as well. Like, it's unfair to say even like cousins and stuff like that. By the way, like, some of my families have 6 or 7 people in there. By the way, all 6 of you are going to come to India. They go flights.
I don't know. I agree with that, because that's why we're doing it in the UK, because it's very hard for people to, for many reasons, all come as a family. But also, we do have to do things the way that we want to do them, which is what we want to do. We've decided to do it in the UK because that's what we want. But I think if we was to maybe redo the scenario, I actually think I would probably go back and say, do you know what?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would probably say, let's take literally siblings, parents, go and get married, somewhere cute and nice, end of story. Because we're getting, like you just said, getting married is a unity of two people.
Very true. Very
You know, it's not.
Very true. Yeah. Next life we'll do it international.
Next life we'll do it international. Okay, so now it's time to answer other people's dilemmas and their questions. So obviously we sometimes put it out for people to send the questions in. And I've got a few that I think will be good for us to discuss.
Okay, let's go.
The first one is, does money buy happiness?
I'll let you go first.
I don't think money buys happiness. I don't think anything can buy happiness. Happiness isn't something that is a direct result of one factor or one thing. Do I think money can enable you to do things, experience things, purchase things, create a life that contribute to happiness? 100%. And I also think that at the end of the day, we need money for not only the nice things in life, even the basic things in life. And if you had zero money, zero, it would create a lot of stress, resulting in you probably not being very happy. However, I do think earning a good amount of money will allow you to do stuff that will result in happy experiences and moments. And that was a very, very
interesting answer.
Serious answer. But that is how I feel. For me, I, work hard because I like certain things that make me happy and I require money to do them.
Okay.
Well, give us your answer then.
My answer is yes, I think money can buy happiness. I think that I don't understand the negative attitude towards money sometimes people have.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a fact. Money does make life easier. Okay? Fine, it won't directly buy happiness in the sense of I'm going to feel like immense joy, but it makes life easier, which leads to happier things, right? As an example, if I give you £1 billion today, how would you feel?
I don't really swear, but I feel amazing.
There you go. Money buys happiness. It's that you'll be able to give it to your parents and say, hey, here, do what you want to do with it. Give it to your close family. Do what you want to do with it. Help causes. Bring change to things that you believe in. And that's why I am a big believer that money is a tool that can buy happiness.
I like what you said about, I don't know why money is seen as in a negative perspective.
Yeah.
Because actually anything can be seen in a negative or positive perspective. It's how you use something.
100%. And I've had conversations with people that have a lot of money and would publicly say things like, yeah, I'm doing it for the work. I'm doing it for the passion. But in reality, they've said to me that, you know what, I'm doing it for the money. I just want to get richer.
But it's really hard for people to say that.
It's really hard for people to say that. But again, that's what I'm saying, is that if someone says that, it's seen as controversial or they're seen as wrong. And that's why I actually think that, why is this even a conversation? Why even looking at it as a tool to measure happiness? The goal should be money. Money is good.
I don't think the goal should be money. The goal is happiness. If money helps you get to happiness. Because for me, being successful doesn't mean I have lots of money. If someone said to me, what does success mean? Success to me means happiness and peace.
I agree with you. But what I'm trying to say is that if someone goes online and says, hey guys, I'm going to make a lot of money today. I'm excited. I'm going to smash it. I really believe in myself. That person's going to get trolled.
I agree. And I think actually it's more to do with the perspective of people doing well. And it almost goes a little bit, to your point earlier in the podcast, that, like, for me, I view you as a person that wants to be successful, wants this type of lifestyle, etc. Not because you need validation or want to show off. It's because that's what you want and that's your choice.
Definitely.
So it's also, you shouldn't need to feel negative about what you want. If other people want peace in their life, or other people want balance or a different lifestyle, no one makes them feel bad for it.
100%. The UK, if someone said that, they'd be like,
How arrogant. It's arrogant.
But whereas in America, as an example, it's quite a positive culture on that front. If someone says, oh, wow, I'm excited to make money today, I'm going to make money, I'm buzzing, I can't wait. Be like, oh, wow, the American dream, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's, like, it's all about cultures and how you... that like in India, as an example, I feel that's quite an entrepreneurial country. Again, if someone said that, yeah, I'm trying to make money
It's
or
not seen
chase
as
money.
showing off. It's seen as, oh, wow.
Oh, but he's on it.
He's
Whereas
doing
here, even if you answer the question, and does money make you happy, and someone says yes, they'll be like, oh,
Yeah, it seems...
he's lost the plot. It's like, no, you haven't lost the plot.
I think that actually there's lots of ways to answer the question, and there isn't a secret answer. And if my answer to the question is no, I don't think it buys you happiness. But if someone answers yes, they're not a villain. That's their choice and that's their opinion. Cool. I think that's it.
Cool.
Okay, we'll move on to a lighter-hearted one because I feel like that got deep.
Okay.
I feel like people are going to be very divided over that. So we've got one here which I think is quite funny, and I feel like a lot of women will feel this way.
Okay.
So this guy has wrote in and said, at the beginning of a relationship, like any man, I really treated my missus to nice dates, cups of tea, and really treating her. But now we're a year in, and she still expects the same, and I'm finding it hard to keep up.
Is this like an indirect to me or something like that?
I made sure I picked this question so that I can, pick up on this fact as well.
So what's the dilemma?
What should he do?
Go on. From a lady's opinion.
No, well, I'd like to hear your perspective as to why you think. Go on.
So that's going to get me in trouble.
Can you explain why men do this and why they're OTT at the start?
There isn't. It's not OTT. It's not OTT. You care. That's why you show appreciation.
And now you don't care.
I always show the appreciation to you, babe.
No, but that's not the...
But have I changed?
Okay, wait, hang on a second. We've got to
Forget
remember.
it. Have I changed?
Hey, let's just... This is a different night. We're not talking about us. Oh. This is a couple. But, well, okay, go on then. We'll talk about us.
Would you talk?
No, you haven't changed, but the dilemma from this guy's perspective, even though I'm taking it from a female perspective, is he's saying, how am I going to keep up with her now? Yeah. Well, why was you OTT in the first place then?
I don't think they're the right things to say OTT.
Okay, so why are you not showing that same level of care and attention?
I think you should show that same level of care and attention.
And do you feel like that is what you do yourself?
Well, what did he do? What did he do different?
I've just read the question to you.
Okay, I think that you shouldn't change, and you should be yourself.
No, the question is, what should he do to keep up? And I'm asking you, why do guys...
I don't
lay it on thick at the beginning, take you on nice dates to the Shard, take you on to lovely 5-star restaurants.
Yeah, but that's...
And then 18 months later...
That's the bit where
you're lucky if you get taken to Pizza Hut.
Sweetheart, I take you Pizza Express.
I don't like pizza. How many times do I have to tell you this?
You got to communicate expectations.
Okay.
And understand... Like, read the room a little bit. Like, if she's getting upset over little things, then make more effort.
Okay.
But don't become complacent. I think the problem is people become complacent.
People or men or women or everything?
I think both. Both can become complacent. And it's not because they want to, but they take it maybe a little bit for granted. And they don't do the things that they needed to do to acquire them in the beginning.
You know what? I feel like in the beginning, actually... that's not indicative of normal life. Obviously, you've got to lay it on a little bit and treat the woman, or other way around, vice versa, equality and all of that. So obviously, I don't think any woman's expecting for that to constantly continue. But I do think in many cases, it can really tail off completely. where it's like, hey, like,
I think the biggest thing is making sure you're not getting complacent or taking your partner for granted. That is the key.
so what are you going to recommend to him? He can't keep up, he said.
Well, appreciating your partner and not taking them for granted is the starting point. You just take a minute and realize, like, yo, they do so much for me here, and I care for them. So I should be okay to treat them. Not be like, hey, that's my wife now, so I don't need to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's my answer anyway.
Yeah, I think it's about just actually understanding each other's needs. We're all different.
Yeah.
You know, some people want...
Do you think I've got complacent?
I don't think you've changed. I think you're still the same person. But I can actually, like, resonate with this question from the female perspective.
Okay.
Because, like, you know, but I understand as well, like, at the beginning of a relationship, you know, you was trying to woo me and, you know, win me over. And I do think your, like, actions and vibe was very different to what it is now.
Whoa, okay.
But I like your vibe now.
Okay.
I'm not saying I prefer either. I'm just saying it can sometimes be a little bit of a noticeable change.
Okay.
But I'm 10 out of 10 happy, content, and love your vibe now. I think we're actually more settled with each other. There's not this, for example, need for you to impress me or vice versa. I don't need to impress you, you don't need to impress me, and we're just being. And actually the other gestures mean a lot more now. I don't need the dates or things like that for me to think, wow, this person actually, you know, is there for me. You know, we show it in actually different ways because it's not you and me anymore. We're kind of almost one team.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like there is that need. However, you know, it'd be nice if you bring me a coffee now and again.
No, I'll buy you a coffee factory.
I don't want you to buy me a coffee factory. I just want a coffee. This is the problem. You just go too far. I don't want you to glue to your laptop and have a new ambition of setting up a coffee factory. I just want a black coffee.
No problem. I'll get you a black coffee on that, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go get you a black coffee.
Fantastic. We're going to wrap it up for today. Had a lot of fun getting to know each other and answering your questions.
Back while you're doing that.
Next time. Are you joking? What are you doing?
For your black coffee.
Right. Thank you. In the next episode, we will be wrapping up before the wedding and we'll be discussing all things wedding. Make sure you tune in and we'll speak to you then.
Go try it.
I'm good for now.
Okay.